Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back, another reaction episode to Doctor Who. This is Rick, my name is Matt. Hello, what's up? We're starting here episode 4, series 15, season 2, whatever you want to call it. We're kind of halfway through the season now. At least I believe the season has 8 episodes. That was the case for the previous one, so I'm assuming it's going to be the case for this one as well. Also, Mrs. Flood gave us a date for the end of the show, which I'm guessing is the start for the finale. And if I counted right, then that should be episode 7. So that would give it an extra episode for that to be the finale. Last time on Doctor Who, we got a sequel to Midnight. Pretty good. It was called The Well. It was not exactly Midnight, but it was a sequel to Midnight. And I had a couple extra thoughts after I recorded the episode, but I added them later in the editing as a form of just an audio version at the end. So yeah, that was The Well. It was awesome episode, honestly. I really enjoyed The Well. So I'm really enjoying this season so far. I say that like every season, but like I'm really enjoying it. Last week's episode we got also I didn't watch the preview, but we had like one frame of preview, and I believe I saw Ruby Sundays. So I don't know what this episode's gonna be, but maybe we'll see her again. What's interesting though is that the world ended, so like I don't know how that works. We'll see. I don't know anything about this episode. I don't even know the title, so I'm just gonna put it up. I'm gonna watch it, and that's gonna be it. Patreon, check out the Patreon link in the description below, pop up on the screen. You can support the channel as well as watch full-length reactions. So if you want to watch my entire reaction to every single episode of these this season here, as well as previous season and all that stuff, you can do so over there. It's right there. Yeah, let's begin. Doctor Who Series 15, Episode 4. Let's go. Happy New Year! Is it New Year? Where are we? If it's New Year, it should be before the world ended or whatever. Dude, are we gonna see Anita again?
Look, I have found 50p. We are winning.
Oh, hello.
Hi, kid.
Conrad, I'm the doctor, and this is Belinda, Chandra.
What year is this?
2007.
Okay, a little bit backwards. So Martha Jones, Series 3, I think.
Is meant for you.
Why?
Cause it is your lucky day.
Should we get you to him? Or not?
There's a box! A blue box!
Oh, because he saw the TARDIS materialize.
How many times, Conrad? Enough with the light. You're spoiling my night!
Alright.
I was 8 years old when I first saw that police box.
Ooh.
But this week, I found someone who knows its secrets.
Okay, hi.
My name is Ruby Sunday.
Okay. This is playing into my theory that Doctor Who is kind of a story within the story this season. It goes all the way back to Joy to the World, where the Doctor got a bunch of TARDISes and he was like, I don't know why there's so many online. So if that is what we're doing this season, of like the story of the Doctor has become public.
Last year.
When was this? If the TARDIS is around, you know some bullshit is afoot. That might as well be the tagline of the show. Okay, creepy. Yeah, that's... I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, this was a Ruby adventure we didn't see. Are we following the tradition of having a doctorless episode?
Half an hour ago we were hanging out with the Beatles.
Okay, so this is right after Devil's Court. Right after they were just having their dance party.
Last thing I expected was to land you on my podcast this morning.
Found her on Instagram. Creepy as hell, but...
London with my mom and Gran.
It's because I am such a fan. I mean,
Unit.
sorry.
Over 1,000 viewers. Almost 2,000. So not a small podcast.
Some trolls online say UNIT is just a cover story for something else.
People at UNIT are amazing, doing good work.
Like the Doctor?
Like the Doctor.
I'm trying to get UNIT on the podcast for years.
I feel like this is maybe the missing piece. That like the Doctor... Like Doctor Who is a story inside of Doctor Who. Because of the Doctor stories becoming popularized. It's weird, but... Okay, you guys, so you're gonna hook up? I mean, this guy could just be after the story and doesn't care about her.
A year ago, it marked its prey. It's hunting you. Take its time, breaking in, enjoys the hunt, feeds off fear, wants you scared and running because it likes the taste.
He gave me this.
Yeah, the quarter.
Kept it all these years. He said it was my lucky day. I think he was wrong.
Because this is my lucky day. Okay.
You let me buy you dinner.
Okay. Again, I'm not sure how much I want to believe this dude or if he's just using her for stories. Never trust a white man with a podcast. Never. It's fucking crazy that I think we're just getting a Ruby Sunday episode after she's left the show.
Smile. Yeah, but you're getting on with your life.
I wonder if you're on the Instagram.
You're gonna find some problematic shit he said like 3 years ago.
It was just me and my mum growing up.
Okay, that's bad.
She died. Liver cancer.
Okay.
You could talk to me.
The POV shots in this episode feel weird for some reason. Like looking right at me. That's a choice.
Was he your boyfriend?
No, God, no. If he was here, he'd be flirting with you.
Yeah, also, he mostly swings that direction.
Hardest.
Oh, it's the most incredible thing you'll ever see in your entire life. And I've seen incredible things. Also, sometimes I feel like I'm about to explode.
Oh, please don't. I'm enjoying this.
Still worried he's using her for this story.
Told you things that I've not told anyone.
Did Mrs. Flood move?
I think you're amazing.
This is such a weird episode. It's like I'm watching 73 Yards again. Hi, Mom 2. Nice to see her again. It's just like watching Ruby Sunday get on with her life.
I don't think Conrad's friends are like that, girl.
You don't know that. Again, he's a white man with a podcast. You can't trust him.
He talks about you all the time. Really? Oh, not again.
Okay. The creature. Hi, Kay. Nice to see you again.
National Grid. Elle's on her way to Sydney. There's something strange happening in the harbour.
Okay.
On your own?
Yeah.
Oh, you two have a thing. Damn. That guy was cool. I don't remember his name, but he was cool.
There's no fault showing. Must be a localized issue.
I love the picture of the Brigadier right there.
Maybe try and relax. Enjoy your night.
Oh, she's gonna go check if the creature is still locked. Okay.
I think I'm in shock.
I'm in like separate realities right now. I'm like, do I trust him? Is he good? Is he gonna die this? Like, I don't know.
Because what happened last year was just not normal.
Okay.
I thought gods
Plural.
kidnapped by gods.
We had 2 musical sequences.
And I watched the world turn to dust.
Yeah, that was a lot, honestly. That would have been a lot. I do like this though, like addressing like the PTSD of like what happens after you exit the TARDIS.
Nothing's going wrong while I'm here, right?
Famous last words.
Alfie!
Where's Sparky?
I think he's in the loo.
There's something out there, like the devil himself.
There's another one.
Oh, there's multiple.
I didn't take the antidote.
You dumb motherfucker! Why?
I wanted to be brave, like the doctor.
What?
Everything he was, I can be.
That's what this. Never trust a white man with a podcast. They have problems with their ego. It's very fragile. It's crazy how this is the first doctorless, companionless companion episode. We just switched companions for an episode. We're in a different season. The dude is right. I knew it.
No, this is the game, comrade. We're in serious danger.
We're a team, like you and the doctor.
Dude, shut up! Sparky's cooked, bro. You got eaten. That's why he had the Sparky cap. So you would know that 1, he was Sparky, and 2, he was dead. Unit! Look at this team of heroes. I don't know who that guy is. Guy number 3? I don't think we've seen it before. The episode is gonna end with the guy being like, I got a great story for my podcast. And Ruby's just gonna be disgusted and leave.
Prepare to fire!
Wait a minute.
No, they're people. No, this is a show. They're putting on a performance. This is yeah.
How would do, boss?
Yeah. Never trust a white man with a podcast. I keep telling you. Never trust an influencer. I hope
Exposing the lies perpetuated by units.
that Kate destroys their life. Well, I don't think they can.
I've had to listen to your stories for weeks now, with your insecurity, vanity,
God.
resistance.
I kind of don't want to listen to this. I muted the episode. I don't want to listen to this guy talk. I have such little tolerance for fuckers like this. They're too real.
You made a very big, very dangerous mistake tonight, Conrad.
You don't even remember me. Spending our money, hiding in your tower and doing what? Huh?
Protecting people like you.
Oh, they can't stop lying. There are no shriek, no Cybermen.
Dude.
no
We've seen... Okay, no. I actually have a lot of things to say about some of this dumb shit.
The threat to this planet is real. They've got plenty of it, so you can.
One's collecting benefits, stealing our taxes.
Oh my
while she
God.
lies to us.
Oh my god.
Using you, all of you, for her dirty work. You've gifted me this moment. Ruby Sunday. Is that even your name, by the way? Because it's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Arrest them.
Right, let's go. Move them out.
They win by being arrested. Okay, we have like 20 minutes to go. I'm afraid of what the ramifications of this are gonna be.
Fascism on the streets of
Yeah. I have such a like horrid reaction to this shit that like I just don't want to look at it. I don't want to listen to what they're saying. I have like very little tolerance for like guys like that.
Every person employed by unit. Their names and addresses are on the screen right now.
Oh god, this is awful.
They are wasting our
Have you seen this?
I mean, the thing is that this is like too real. We're clearly addressing something that is real in the world by this through like this weird sci-fi lens. Dude, I am a resident of Argentina, by the way. This is too real.
8 years ago, Conrad applied to work here.
Okay.
This is a grudge dressed up as a youth movement.
No, it's more than that. It's about power. He's been craving attention his whole life, and his mum practically ignored him till the day she died.
His mother's not dead. Lives in the south of France. Nice villa paid for by Conrad. Meanwhile, he's raking it in. 80,000 paid subscribers. He owns 3 properties, and of course, he's a tax dodger.
Of course, every time. Yo, can we call 14 in here real quick? I know he's on vacation or whatever, but it would be nice if he could like show up and be like, all right, let me just somehow solve this. I don't know how you solve a bunch of like youth right-wingers that have been radicalized into not thinking, but like, this guy is a spy. This guy is a mole. Yeah, I knew it. The moment that I saw that guy being part of the team, but I never seen him before, I'm like, he's a mole. Like, I don't trust him. Yeah, they do have someone on the inside. This is gonna sound weird, but like when I saw his haircut, I was like, I don't trust him. His haircut tells me like, I don't know, that he listens to some like meninist podcasts. I don't know why, it's all in the haircut.
We don't need weapons. Jordan Lang.
Bounce VPN, shadow accounts, false identities.
Dozens of radical blogs,
Yeah.
revisionist podcasts, an echo chamber of disinformation.
Yeah. He got shot too. Is this fucking podcaster coming in here to have this one-man revenge run against Kate or something?
That man has single-handedly undermined everything we work for.
Yeah, he does have a camera on his chest.
Do not shoot. Drop the gun, Conrad.
It's a lot of weapons pointing at one man. I'm just defending myself. Don't play with your imaginary goblins.
Oh my god.
This isn't about cause, it's grandstanding and ego.
Yeah.
For a lying little boy that can't bear to be called out.
Yeah.
Don't you dare point a gun at her. I didn't remember you, so I checked my notes from that interview.
What does it say? Call him out! Say it!
Don't trust
Yeah!
Up in your tower, looking down on us.
keeping you safe.
I want a confession. Admit to the lies.
But like,
Trust the monster costume.
okay.
You're deluded.
The grown-ups are talking.
Monster's gonna come out and eat him. That would be the good ending.
Or are you a coward, like your father was?
You should be very careful what you say about my father. He was 100 times the man you are.
100 is a small number.
The gun is unit issue, so where's Jordan Lang?
He's been shot. Ground team are rushing him to the infirmary.
You shot your own mole.
A man's life is hanging in the balance, and you're not even sorry.
Maybe you shot him. Or he was an actor. Or he
Oh
never
my
existed.
god.
In fact,
Like, this guy is in the top of the world and then he just crashes his own van into a wall. What the fuck is he doing?
box of tricks.
Oh, you're so lucky he's not here.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's not here, because he would have stopped me.
She's gonna open a cage and he's gonna eat him. I mean,
The truth, Conrad.
I don't know.
Requested.
I don't know about this move.
Can feel your heartbeat, the blood in your veins. So I'm wondering, how committed are you to the lies you've told? What do you truly believe?
You're gonna let it kill you? Or you're just gonna ask for help?
Leave it. Stay back.
Make sure it's a well-lit area so everyone can see.
How do I get out? Tell me how to get out!
You don't. All cameras, live transmission to Conrad's social media.
I mean, I'm afraid he's gonna end up winning here somehow because this is... Oh no, but Kate.
Kate, we have to help him.
Out of ammo. I mean, the good ending is he tries to kill him and we help him. He's asking for help. Is he admitting to something?
Help me! Please stop it!
safety of this country at risk. Everything my father ever worked for personal gain.
You're right, but also you're doing the same for this guy.
And I didn't have everything to make it stop, please.
Go to hell.
Fuck you. Your podcast sucks and your dick is small. He's happy.
These two special effects are improved.
Of course, he's back to it. I hope he loses the arm. I do hope that. I mean, this is still not gonna look well on Kate. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, she was just gonna let him die? But like, at the same time, there has to be a level of like, oh, this is the fucking suck. Immediately, he also went like, actually, it was a bluff. Immediately, he went back to his performance. Because those kind of people, that's what they do.
Latest from the hospital. Conrad will live.
Unfortunately.
Last night went way too far.
Yes.
Geneva.
Like you said, he'll live.
Yeah.
I stand with unit is a hashtag, so is Hot Taser Lady.
Okay.
See it now. I've just been stuck in limbo.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how to get any better. Everything I've seen, the good and the bad, I just need some time to get my head around it, away from everyone.
When you're ready, if you're ready to talk, you call me.
I'm afraid for Eunice's future. Like, I really am.
You've already got 2 months. What do you collect?
Kate's good. Kate's a good mom. I like Kate. Did he lose the arm or is it being healed? What? Oh! It materialized around them. No, this is maybe a delusion. I don't know.
Shriek is back in its hive. No need to thank me.
Okay.
You're special for all the wrong.
Call him out. Call him out. Get his ass. Do it!
I am fighting a battle on behalf of everyday people
Who just want to get through their day.
and feel safe and warm and fed. Then along comes this noise. All day long, relentless noise. Cowards like you, weaponizing life.
Yes. Yes, Queen.
Taking
Yes,
people's
Queen.
security
Call him out.
and making it currency. You are exhausting. You stamp on the truth, choke our bandwidth, and shred our patience. Because the only strategy you have is to wear us down. But the thing is, I have energy to burn and all the time in the universe.
Pathetic.
You betrayed my friend.
Have you met Belinda Chandra yet?
You want spoilers? I'll tell you your future.
Oh.
You die in a prison cell, boiling in anger and poison, till your heart packs in age 49, alone and unloved. Forgotten. The world carries on, the world gets better. You aren't even a footnote. Just ashes on the wind.
I don't accept your reality. I reject.
It's the truth.
Get off my world.
You can't save people like this.
Did I imagine?
It's it's Mrs. Flood. Oh my god.
I'm the governor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's your lucky day.
Okay. The governor? Right. I love, and when I say that, I genuinely mean it. I love whenever I get an episode where I want to say Russell T. Davies, but that's not him. He didn't write the episode. It was Pete Maitai, or I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. And just grabs him by the throat, just reaches out of the screen, grabs him by the throat, and it's just like, here's the state of the world right now. And this is how I feel about it. And fuck you. Oh my god. And oh my... I love that I already have a title for the episode. Is Never Trust a White Man with a Podcast. That should be the subtitle for this episode. I'm gonna make it the title for my video because it's the truth. It's so fun how the moment that we were following this guy, I was like, I don't know if I can trust him. And the episode kept going, and it was like, oh, we're hanging out with friends or whatever, and we're seeing Ruby Sunday, and for a second you think maybe the episode is about to be about Ruby Sunday's life, her and what her life is after leaving the TARDIS and how difficult that might be. It's not PTSD, but it's something kind of similar to that in the sense that she keeps wondering when is the next thing that's gonna happen. She's always thinking about okay, the world's gonna end, right? I watch everyone die already, it's gonna happen again because it happens every other year, and she just keeps thinking when is the next thing gonna happen, when is the Doctor gonna show up again? And it's okay, for a second you're thinking that might be what the episode is. That's not what the episode is. What the episode is, instead, is just a hard flip, just a hard swerve into like, this guy is a dumbass 25-year-old influencer right-winger. You know the ones. You know, he was pushing for NFTs 2 years ago. He was pushing for Bitcoin 3 years ago. You know, that guy trying to get his sucker audience into that audience that is like 95% male. That's what this guy was. And like, how he can't have lied about his, like, this is a part that I'm just like, how do you not, it's that he couldn't have lied about his identity to Ruby, because Ruby looks him up and it's like, oh, this is what it is. Like, this is the podcast that I'm on. Like, Ruby has to be incredibly naive. And the grandma didn't look him up at the end of the day. Because, like, if you Google him, you would see the guy. And you would be like, alright, I don't wanna fuck with that. Fuck that guy. Like, you would immediately be able to tell. So I don't know how they didn't realize until it was too late. But whatever, it like hard escalated into, okay, Unit is in trouble now, because Unit is in this like weird, like they're taking this like intense heat from the public as a result of what the news reporter lady said, fascism on the streets, which crazy. But like, I get it. The public just sees this like government agency or whatever that is just like, they're just putting on some random guy, some random podcaster under arrest, and it's like, okay, whatever, right? Like that just looks awful to me. And it's like, yeah, why would they believe Unit? Like on that level, you follow it. But like, I have to be honest with you. This episode was difficult to watch for me for like a whole, like, I don't know, 10 minutes of it. Maybe not 10, but like a whole chunk of it was difficult for me to watch, because I've already said this before, I'm pretty sure, in different videos. I'm not sure if I've ever said it in Doctor Who, but like, there is, something I found out about myself is that there's like a specific type of character that I have a level of patience that is so low that I just don't want to listen to them. And there was a moment where I just muted my headset. I was just like, I'm not listening to whatever the fuck is happening. Like, I'll come back in like 40 seconds. Up until then, I don't want to listen because I already know it. I just don't want to look at him. I don't want to listen to him. I have such little patience. Like, okay, just so you understand what I mean, and this is a nerdy comparison, but of those of you who know, you know. When I play Baldur's Gate 3, there's an entire, like, quest line that you do around a character named Gordash, and he's this kind of guy. He's this, like, liar, like, charismatic dude in a position of power, and he's, like, essentially abusing it for personal gain. He's just this egotistical dick. He gives me such a rancid vibe, like, immediately, that I went out of my way to never interact with him, never do any of his questline, which actually kind of fucked my playthrough, because two of the main characters' questlines kind of hinge on you doing that one. Because I hated that dude so much, I just went out of my way to never do any of that. The item you need from him, the way I obtained it was to essentially complete everything else in the game, then come back to him after his entire empire is gone, drink 4 invisibility potions, walk my way next to him, and just land 7 critical hits in a row on his ass before he was able to move, and just take the item off his corpse. I never talked to him. I never listened to him. I had 0 patience for a dude like that. This happened also in The Expanse. Probably didn't watch my reactions to The Expanse, but it's on the channel. There's a character in The Expanse who is this like high charisma dude that is just a pile of lies, and all he is just an incel that is just angry at a woman, and that's all it is. And I have such little tolerance that, like, I got so irrationally angry at that character. I feel the exact same way towards this guy, and I don't know if I said this during the recording, but I was thinking it, that Unit is lucky that I wasn't a member of Unit in the room at that time, because if I had been a member of Unit in the room, I would have just shot him. I would have shot him and then kill myself, and that was the end of my life. I would have ended this guy, and then I knew that I would have been in such an awful position, and I would have put Unit in such an awful position, that then I immediately would have committed suicide. But like, I would have preferred to just kill him at that cost than to just let him keep talking, just to let him keep living. And I understand. I need to bring myself down, because I need to make things clear for people listening to this, that like, my belief system, the things that I believe in, my ideals, okay, there's like a whole argument of like, you know, death penalty and stuff. And it's like, I don't think that that should be a thing, because no one should have the right to decide that kind of stuff, because not just for like a moral perspective, but also the moment you start doing that, then it becomes subjective, and because it becomes subjective, it starts to become something that can be abusable towards people that are in precarious positions. You can't do that. So I don't believe that this guy deserves to die, because I don't think that anyone deserves to die. My personal feelings are the ones where I would have just shot him. Right? Like, my belief system and my personal feelings are at disparity when it comes to a guy like this. A guy like this pisses me off so much that I put all of my beliefs aside and I'm like, let me at him. I'm gonna get his ass. Like, that's how I feel. And that's why this episode, it was on a level cathartic and on another level concerning. Concerning because it's too real, and also because I don't know what's gonna happen to Unit after this. I feel like they even had something, they had a line where he was like, last night was too much, Geneva's gonna, and they were like, all right, let's not talk about that. It's the thing of like, it feels like the world is not gonna like what just went down, and Unit is gonna have some kind of, is gonna suffer some kind of repercussion as a result of that. So Unit as the powerhouse that we see here might come down as a result of the weird PI nightmare that just happened here. The public seems to like maybe come back to Unit's favorable side at the end, but that I'm still worried about what's gonna happen to them. Kate was also very vindictive in this episode, and I'm here for it. Kate is hot, and whenever she's angry, she's hotter. But like, no, like, they insulted the Brigadier. You don't insult the Brigadier. You don't insult my man, Alistair Ledbury Stewart, in front of me or Kate, right? And then Kate was like, all right, you want to see? Okay. And I just fucking threw a monster at his ass. And part of me was, I was happy and worried. Happy because a monster was about to eat him, which was really poetic and also what he deserved. But I was worried because, like, this is clearly him winning. Because what would happen is that it's like, oh, monsters are real, but also that lady just let him die, right? And actively kind of killed him. So it's like, it's still his point, like that, yeah, Unit sucks. So like, that wouldn't have mattered. But it ended up being okay because they did end up rescuing him, which is what I think was gonna happen. But I thought that Kate was gonna do it, of like, all right, he learned his lesson, help him. But she didn't say that, right? It was actually Ruby and the other lady. It's not the scientist. I forgot what her position in Unit is, but the wheelchair lady, she's the one that gave Ruby the taser and then Ruby saved them. So it's not that Kate went like, all right, let's help him out. She didn't do that. She just let it happen, and then whatever happened, happened. So, okay. Don't know how this is going to work out for Unit in the future, but all right. Things that are real that I want to talk about. Okay. Again, this episode is very real because this is just the way the real life world works now. In the nightmare fuel is an area that we live in 2025 influencer social media algorithm, love it. Here we are. I've gone on rants about this before. I can do it again, but I'm gonna try to limit myself. But we all know how this shit works, you know? Like, you get angry, you yell at shit online. People like listening to it because it's like, oh, somebody's angry and yelling at something. And then they go like, you should be angry at this too. Isn't this bullshit? And then you go like, yeah, I guess that is bullshit. I'm not gonna question what you said. Maybe you're lying, maybe you're twisting truths in order to make me outrage, but I'm gonna yell alongside you. And because I am yelling alongside you, that means that I am interacting with it, I am engaging with it, and because I am engaging with it, it means that the algorithm boosts it, because if I'm engaging with something, that means that there's more ad revenue, because we can place more ads in that shit. So that makes more money for the person that is doing it, which is an incentive for them to keep doing it, and also to all the companies that get fucking ad money. So, okay, engaging someone by screaming some outrageous shit that isn't real, okay, that works out, everyone gets paid. It makes it so everyone keeps doing that, and everyone keeps engaging with that, and people are not smart enough to understand that that is what's happening. It's so easy. It's so easy. And that is the nightmare reality we live in. The entire social political landscape we live in has been dictated by this issue exacerbating itself just out of the stratosphere circa 2015-2016. The internet before then was pretty good, honestly. Remember Vine? Vine was fun. We had a bunch of dumb 6-second clips of people doing funny shit. And then it just turned into everyone keeps yelling into a microphone and being like, that guy's stealing your money, you should hate him. And then it's like, okay, that engages, that gets more money, they keep doing it, alright. And now everyone who listens to that is fully brain rotted. So that is the world we live in. This is the antagonist of this episode. It made me feel like shit near the middle. But when it got to the end, it was essentially calling him out on his lies and his facade that he puts on, and essentially saying like, you're pathetic. Like everything that you are, let's undo it real quick. And that's what Kate was doing. It was like, all right, I'm going to throw the monster at you and let's see what happens when your life is on the line. And what happened is that the dude just went like, I'm sorry I lied, help me. There you go. It fully comes down. I lied, I wanted money, I wanted revenge. It was all personal. My ego is fragile. Please save my life. They save him, and immediately he stands up and he was like, those were some pretty good special effects, huh? Because like, of course, these kind of people, they don't get better. They don't learn. They never change. Because they have built their entire empire on lies. Their entire life is propelled by the lies that they tell. This entire thing is not just the economic support that they have, it's like their entire being is this facade. This person is nothing without this facade. The real person is not there anymore. It's a hollow. It's just a facade. It's just a man yelling angry shit, saying lies for social media likes, so they can keep yelling and saying lies for social media likes for money and for engagement. And I love that they kept saying his ego is fragile, his mom didn't love him, never said anything good to him, so he just keeps trying to get that shit from his online user base. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly how it is. This is not a joke. When I look at this man and I was wary and I said never trust a white man with a podcast, it was because of that reason. That wasn't me pulling out from thin air, or that wasn't me making a joke. That was me looking at the real world version of this man and being like, no, those guys are dangerous for that reason, because these are all a bunch of dudes with fragile egos that are trying to get some kind of acknowledgement, acceptance from an online user base that is it's parasocial, it's completely disconnected. These are not real people, these are likes. That means that you can put on whatever performance, you can yell whatever bullshit you want to put out there in order for have people to like you. I can say, dude, I saved a puppy yesterday, and then people can be like, hell yeah, dude, you saved a puppy, oh, that's so cool. And it's you can just build an entire empire on that. So that's what that dude does. For acknowledgement, for money, and then that's all it is. That means that person, Conrad, isn't a real person. That's just a husk at this point. And there's way too many Conrads in real life. And unfortunately, my country is ran by one. This dude only cares about appealing to angry 25-year-olds, 20-year-olds, honestly. And that is the exact same audience that this dumbass podcaster gets. This dumbass podcaster is just screaming random shit and telling lies and being like, that guy, these guys are stealing your money, they're using your taxpayer dollar. That. Okay, I will say this. There is definitely a level of okay, if the government is up to some dumb bullshit and you can see it and you can just call out, there's action right there. There's action to take. But the moment that this dude just went and it was think tank, we got you guys, immediately makes it about himself. You can tell immediately that it's about himself because he's advertising himself. And then he looks at the woman on the wheelchair and he's like, she's faking it. She's just here to take your money. And it's all right. That's where it comes from, right? God, I'm being reminded of a quote that I heard from Brennan Lee Mulligan that I think it was something that his friend said, but I heard it recently. And it was this thing of ideology is predated by personality, right? Personality comes from before ideology. Because in order to have an ideology, you have to have a belief system. You have to have things that you believe in. And in order to have things you believe in, you have to already have some kind of personal feelings that you have towards a certain thing in order for you to use that as the things that you base your beliefs on. And the example he gives is that before you were a fascist, you were a bully and an asshole. And that's exactly it. And that's why I feel so strongly and negatively about this fucking Conrad dude. I do have to say, the actor playing Conrad, fantastic. I fucking hated your guts. So that means you did a great job at playing an incredible, hateable character. But like, this Conrad character, like, and this is a thing that I do. This is a thing that I have. Is that whenever I feel, I feel it in my soul about people, and that's kind of what I focus on. I don't really focus a lot on like the performance you put on. I focus on like you yourself. And whenever I cannot pull anything from that, it means that you're putting out something that isn't real, and that is a performance, and that is when I'm immediately wary. That is when I'm immediately like, okay, hold on. In order for me to feel comfortable, in order for me to feel safe, I need to like understand you, the person, on some level, I have to see some kind of emotion that I can see like, oh, you're feeling happy, or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling some kind of way about something. If I can't garner that, I start to worry, because that to me is it's a yellow sign, not necessarily a red one, but it's a yellow one that for me, I'm like, okay, hold on. And that is something that I always do with everyone, because I can't help it, right? Like, I always instinctively focus on the person themselves. So Conrad here, it's so upsetting to me, because like, we have this entire like movement happening of people being angry about some kind of bullshit that he's selling. But the moment that I saw this dude just be like, think tank, and immediately it's like, it's content. I see it for what it is. And that pisses me off. It's the fakeness of it. And that's why I'm immediately like, you're a tar pit. You're not a real person. You are just a husk. And like, that is so antithetical to everything that I am, that I'm just like, I like on an instinctual, like, this happens a lot actually. You know when, I mean, this is an incredibly nerdy thing to say, but we're in the right place for it. Remember when in Utopia, the Doctor is having a conversation with Captain Jack Harkness, and they're talking about when the Doctor ran away from him. How long have you known? And the Doctor is like, oh, ever since he ran away from you, like the whole time. There was this thing where the Doctor was like, he said like, I can't help it. Like, you are immortal. I'm a Time Lord. You are a fixed point in time. Like, you're wrong. Like, I look at you and you're wrong. It's like instinct. I feel like I don't want to be around like that. That's how I feel whenever I get a person like this fucking guy, like Conrad. Instinctually, I'm just like, you're wrong because you're a husk. There's nothing real about you, and that is what I rely on in order to make connections. If I can't see that, and I only see like this performance, this production, like, I feel like you're wrong. Like, on a deep level, I feel like you're wrong to me. That's also partially why I have such hard opinions about all of this shit. Also because the world is falling apart, and I don't like seeing the world fall apart, so I have hard opinions about that. But like, on a personal level, that's how I feel. And that really gets to me. So this episode was a heated one for that reason. Okay, let's stop talking about this, because I also feel like I didn't do a great job at it. It was just kind of a personal rant, very subjective discussion here, but that's okay. You know, like, this series is not supposed to be like this video essay. You shouldn't be getting all this like perfect opinions from me or anything. This is all biased. This is all subjective. Something we could talk about here though, like zooming out of this whole discussion about the right-wing brain rot that we had about white men with podcasts that you should never trust. Let's talk about what the episode actually was here. This is crazy, because I mentioned it, like, this is the first doctorless, companionless companion episode. Because we didn't have the Doctor, we didn't have Belinda Chandra, but we got Ruby Sunday, and that was the focus. And it's like, what the fuck? Ruby's gone. She was gone last season. Like, what the fuck is she doing here? And it's like, now she's just the main character now. Just fucking deal with it. All right, whatever, man. How did the production work out here? Like, was it a problem with production? Like, where both Shurigawa and, God, what is the name of Belinda's actress? I'm really sorry. Varada Setu. Where is Shurigawa and Varada Setu here? Just busy? Were they just busy and they were like, all right, we need an extra episode and we don't have enough time to film with these two actors? Yo, Millie, you available, girl? Like, was that how it happened? Like, I really want to know why. Okay, we do have a tradition of having like doctorless episodes or companionless episodes. That has happened before, and it mainly happened during the RTD era. It has happened in like every RTD season, hasn't it? Did it happen in the first one? Series 1? I don't think it did. Did it? In The Child, Dr. Dance's, Boomtown, Bad Wolf, Partner... No. Okay, except for Series 1, I think that every series has had one, right? Okay, off the top of my head, right? Okay, Love and Monsters, love it, hate it. It's an episode of... It's truly an episode of all time. Love and Monsters. What was Series 3? Blink. Duh, Blink. Series 4, Midnight's good. So like, yeah, every RTD season has had that. And even previous one, Series 14, we got 73 Yards. Another one of these. Just doctorless episode. This episode, again, another one of these, except that we also don't even have Bill in the Chandler. We only have Millie Gibson. We only have Ruby Sunday here. So that's really interesting, like, how that happens. Like, I don't know how that happens. I don't know the reason why. It's really interesting to me how, like, that maybe must have worked out from production. I feel like it had to have been, like, the actors were busy. And they were like, all right, we need to cook something up with what we got, right? And they made a doctorless companion episode. Crazy, but sure. But yeah, it further continued a story for Ruby, and also made it so, like, I feel like this cements that Ruby's gonna come back, like, a lot, right? And that would make sense, right? Because, like, we get an update as to Ruby, so we, in our minds now, are thinking, like, okay, Ruby Sunday is a character that, like, her story's not over yet. Like, she's still around, she's still living, and we get to see a little glimpse into her life. She's, like, struggling to move on from the life with the Doctor. She's struggling to make connections, and it's like, that's fun. Yeah, that's cool. I like seeing that. And then the episode just kind of ends. So I feel like it left this open door for Ruby to come back, like, at any point, really. Because, like, even, like, last season, when we saw her goodbye scene, it was actually goodbye. And then in the Joy to the World episode, it was, like, a cameo. It was, like, fun. But in this episode, it felt like, okay, the door is always open for her. Whenever she wants to show up, she'll just be here. So, hell yeah. Okay, that's good. Same goes for Kate. We also get a promise that Yoon is probably going to come back, in the sense that they're talking about, like, you know, Geneva is not going to like this. So that tells me that next time we see Unit, which will happen, they're going to be in some kind of situation that is not going to be as ideal as the one that they were here today. So their power is going to diminish or something. So that's what we're going to see with Unit moving forward. That tells us that we're going to see Unit again. So that's cool. But yeah, it's just so interesting that this is what the episode was. This was the structure of the episode. I mean, I love it. I'm happy to see it because it's just different. Also, while I was watching the episode, it was just kind of funny to me how, like, I just kept remembering how, like, people maybe are like, you know, I don't like Ruby Sunday whenever Ruby was around previous season. And then imagine that you're enjoying this new season of Doctor Who, and then you show up to watch this episode, and it's like, all right, we get another Ruby Sunday episode. It's like, what the fuck? I thought you were gone. Oh, that's funny to me. I enjoy Ruby Sunday. Like, she's fine. I don't mind her. This episode was enjoyable to me. I mean, it was enjoyable except for the parts whenever Connor was on screen. Those parts I didn't like, but everything else was good. But I didn't like him for, like, personal subjective reasons. I do like what the episode is doing, and I really, really love the ending with the Doctor. When the Doctor finally shows up, he finally comes into play here. He comes on screen, and he essentially unmakes Conrad. He's like, dude, you're pathetic. You're pathetic. Your life is pathetic, and this is how it's going to end. And it's going to be pathetic when it ends. You're going to be alone and sad, and nobody's going to believe you. And you're not going to leave any kind of mark on the world. The world's just going to move on, and it's going to get better. Not thanks to anyone like you. Because, like, that's the unspoken thing as well. Is that, like, I think that the absolute least you could possibly do to feel proud of, the only thing that you could feel proud of, is if by the time you leave planet Earth, you can say that you at least did something that made it a little better. Maybe for family, for a friend, from someone that you met randomly. If you helped a person on the street at one point, just a random compliment, any kind of help, any kind of thing you could have given to make someone's life a little bit better, you can say that that's something to feel proud of. and you can say that that's by the time you exit this earth, that is a good thing. You made the world a tiny bit better. The Doctor essentially looks at this guy, at Conrad, and is like, you're not going to do that because your entire existence is all built on this, and this is bad. It's not good, and it's not even bad in the sense that it's gonna like end the world. It's like, no, like, you're unimportant. The world is going to eventually move on from this and get better, and you're nothing. You didn't do anything for anyone. You accomplished zero, and all you're gonna do is say you're gonna be angry and bitter that people don't pay attention to you, that people don't listen to you, that people don't trust you, and eventually you're gonna end up in jail for all the many crimes you commit, and then you're just gonna get so angry and die of a heart attack because you're just so fucking emotional and dumb and sad and depressed, and yeah, you're just gonna die. And like, yeah, that's your life. I told it. There you go. That's your story. Good night. I loved it. I love that so much. God, if I could, and the other thing too is that Conrad heard that and he was like, I reject that reality. And that's so good because it's like, yeah, of course. I didn't expect you to trust me and believe it because you're not the kind of person that would. Because you don't care. You don't think. You don't feel. You just perform and get people angry and get the money. And that's the entire cycle. Get people angry, get the money, get people riled up. That's it. But there's like nothing of value about you as a person or in your life. And the Doctor is like, yeah. And then you're gonna die and you're gonna be sad and alone, and that's gonna be it. You didn't accomplish anything. No one's gonna remember you. You got nothing. And you might say that like, oh, he doesn't care. And it's like, no, he would care if he believed it. But he doesn't want to believe it. So he's gonna choose not to. And that is the thing. It's the like, if you go back in time and you try to tell someone like, this is how it's gonna end, maybe you can change that. And they like, no, I don't want to. Then all right, like I gave you the warning. I gave you the story. And if you choose not to do anything with that and instead you decide to double down, then it's like, well, congratulations. It's going to happen. I don't know what to tell you, my guy. But like people like this guy, they don't have the insight. They don't have the self-reflection in order to see that. So they don't. And then that's their entire life wasted. And it is truthfully pathetic. I wonder if me titling the episode Never Trust a White Man with a Podcast is gonna get a bunch of people like that on my comment section, because that has happened before, namely during the 60th year anniversary special, the first one, the Star Beast. Namely on that one, I got a bunch of crazy people on my comment section, and I was like, brother, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I believe transgender rights are human rights. And then immediately there's people just trying to stab me on the streets, and it's like, oh, dude, I don't know. This seems like a you problem. I feel like I'm meeting at least the bare minimum. And if you're not at that level, we can't have a conversation. Your brain is rotten. You need to get off TikTok or whatever like dumb social media platform you're getting all your like hashtag fake news, InfoWars, what, I don't pay attention to that shit. Whatever you're getting all your crazy shit, just leave. Go look at pictures of cats or something, man. You just go make a friend. Go have a nice conversation with another human being. Let's just do that. All right, that's it. What else? What happens in this episode? Oh man, this is truthfully an episode of all time. Like, I applaud this episode for what it's doing. I hated watching it for a good portion of it, and just in general, after the episode is over, I'm just like, I feel heated. I'm like, I don't want to think about this episode anymore because it's too real, right? It's too real. And like, okay, I like engaging with things that are too real, but this is too real in the specific brand that I just, it makes me so, I am like the Doctor in the way that I want to keep a positive outlook on humanity and the world. I want to so badly, but people like Conrad here really test my patience. They really test me on that belief, and they are real. And that is the worst part of it, is that they are real, and I hear about them every goddamn day. And it's really testing me. It always tests me, and I don't I want to just not hear about it anymore because I like to believe and trust in the inherent goodness of people in the same way that the Doctor does. And this really, 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 really tests me. So I would like to move on from this episode. Thank you. Again, I would like to exit this video with what we have learned today, which is never to trust a white man with a podcast. Ever. Goddamn never, dude. Every time you listen to like some kind of influencer, workaholic, hashtag rise and grind, hashtag like meninist, I don't know. Every time you listen to any of these fuckers, always think to yourself, are they making money off of this? And if the answer is yes, you should take whatever they say with a grain of salt, including me. I don't really make too much money. I really barely have enough money to just get food. But like, always, I want to train your brain to be fucking goddamn critical about whatever the fuck you hear, okay? And that doesn't mean get angry at the thing that somebody told you to get angry at. That means use your goddamn brain. Believe in other people. Believe in human rights. Be good to one another. Don't do things that are detrimental to them and leave the world a better place than what it was. That said, that's not enough. This is a too difficult of a conversation, like, for me to have. I'm not equipped for that. So I don't know. Go listen to Rage Against the Machine. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just gonna go now. All right. Hi, hello. So maybe a couple of things I wanted to add to this discussion because, you know, the immediate aftermath of that episode was a little heated for me. Very subjective, and it's gonna continue to be that. But a couple of things I wanted to talk about it that I definitely didn't because I forgot or I didn't think about it or I didn't pay attention because I'm recording this kind of as I'm editing the episode, and there is like a couple things to mention. First of all, I want to mention, let's talk about the unit guy who leaked the files, the information, the personal information of all the employees, as well as let Conrad in, because that's very interesting. And we're going to be talking about this a little bit. Because, like, that sounds stupid as shit, but you need to understand that the people that listen to Conrad and they believe in whatever the fuck he says, those people's brains have rotted, like, fully. There's many real life examples of people who are experts in a field. They have studied that field and then they just fully disregard that training, that knowledge. I remember reading someone recently that was like, yeah, my mom is medically trained. She's like a nurse or something, and she just stopped believing in vaccines, like during the craze that happened and is continuing to happen over this like weirdo alt-right podcast pushes of people just yelling at you and telling you random shit. Like, it's so easy to just go online and yell about some random shit that just doesn't make any goddamn sense, because like, that's the other thing. It's so like that unit guy, I don't know his name, but the guy that leaked the information about the mole, that guy is like the living embodiment of that, of like, this is a guy that works at UNIT. He sees aliens for a living. He knows that aliens are real. He knows that UNIT is actively trying their best to help the people. It doesn't fucking matter, because the force of personality of like this Conrad dude just yelling random shit, he like listens to that shit as whenever he's going about his day, and he's like, hell yeah, this Conrad dude, he might be onto something. Like, this dude works at UNIT and maybe he listens to a podcast and he's like, yeah, my boss was, I don't know, she was bossy one time, maybe she's hiding something. Oh man, like, whatever the thought process might be, but it's this like one thing of like, yeah, it doesn't make any goddamn sense, because like Conrad is going online and being like, you know, the Cybermen aren't real, aliens aren't real, and it's like Earth has lived through like 10 alien invasions just in the modern era of the show, like very public alien invasions. Like, the planet got teleported into a different place and we got invaded by Daleks. We got invaded by Cybermen. We got invaded by Daleks like maybe 3 more times. Like, this has happened many times before. So the fact that like this guy goes online and it's like, yeah, that's all bullshit, you know, like Unit is lying to you, they're just stealing your money, and it's like it doesn't make any goddamn sense in the lore of the world that we live in. But hey, even the people that know, even the people that are right near it, even the people that are actively working there, they are also falling prey to this fucking lying bullshit, because it's just a force of personality. And it's not just a force of personality, but it's also just like, if I specifically targets the part of you that are like insecure about something, in this case, like again, like the example I gave, like, you know, like Eunice lying to you, this lady, she's full of bullshit, and maybe he's thinking like, well, yeah, Kate isn't fully open with me, so maybe she is full of bullshit. Like, and he just starts, and that is the pathway into buying into a bunch of shit. And also they found a bunch of information that this dude listened to a bunch of like weirder shit anyway. But like that's what I'm saying. It's that like rationality, logic doesn't actually apply to any of the people that fall for the bullshit that Conrad is selling. He's targeting this like reactionary emotion response out of everybody, which is not logical, is not rooted in anything. And that is the other thing I kind of wanted to mention, and I kind of forgot. It's that like this to me is just very real, and also that's part of the reason why it also makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Like, I live in Argentina. Our president is a crazy psychopath that just yelled and said like, I'm gonna blow everything up, fuck the system, and people voted for him, and that's it. And it, like, that is just targeting this very specific, like, again, reactionary emotional response in people, and it worked, right? And that is just the fucking dumbass bullshit reality we live in of social media and algorithms. It's like, that is what is going to give you attention, and that means that benefits and pushes for more people that are, one, very egocentric, two, to just lie about everything, and three, to just try to push a narrative in order to rile people up so they engage more. And because if you engage more, you make more money. Everyone makes more money whenever you engage more. So everyone has an incentive to just keep doing that shit over and over. I already said this, but like, something that is very real to me is that in the country I live in, we lived through a coup d'etat right-wing dictatorship in the 80s. Like, that happened. My mom lived through it. A bunch of adults that are still alive among with us that just told us direct stories, and some of the shadows of that era are still lingering. You know, it's the, like, so many people disappeared, died, were tortured, and there's so many horrible stories about what happened. Active crimes on the population. And I'm not gonna get into this like huge rant about like what that was, or like, you know, the politics of it. What I'm gonna get to is that I see so many young people in my country that just don't know that, or maybe they heard about it, because everyone has heard about it. I'm pretty sure it's such a part of Argentine history that I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about it, but it's not one of those things where like they even like care or like pay attention or like listen or understand any of the details. And that leads to this weird thing where people are repeating some of the same like talking points that were essentially coming from that military dictatorship group. It's just that was just deploying death squads and just annihilating anyone that you just didn't like. And there's this like horrible fucked up reality we lived through, and like now people are all just coming back to it. And it hasn't even been that long. It was just the 80s. Like, okay, I wasn't alive then, but I was born like a decade later, you know? My mom was alive for it. She can tell me stories directly, face to face, about what that was like. And so many people can do that still nowadays. It doesn't fucking matter. People don't give a shit. And because it's just a bunch of like 20-year-olds that are now like, we have a generation of like young adults that have zero connection to that era, and so now they are extremely susceptible to just buying into shit that they don't have any context for. They don't know the terror, they didn't live through the terror, so they can just buy into all that shit. And that is something I wanted to talk about regarding Conrad, because like, we can talk about like a billion different alien invasions that happen in the world Doctor Who, but it's like, the Dalek shit happened in like 2008, right? Like the Cyberman shit happened in like 2006, I believe. And it's like, yeah, that was like almost 20 years ago. Dog, like people listening to this dumbass podcaster are a bunch of 18-year-olds that didn't live through that, or like people that are still like young enough that if they live through it, they don't remember it very well, and it just kind of feels like a fever dream, right? So even if like reality happened, it has been long enough that people aren't so consciously aware anymore. Like we have just full generations of people that are just beyond the point where that was a thing that mattered or that even registered as something that was real. So it's so much easier to manipulate people into like, that thing that everybody told you about, that was a lie. And it's like, oh, I guess that was a lie. But it's like, yeah, you didn't live through it. Of course you are more susceptible to believing that shit. As ridiculous as that might sound, flat earthers exist. So like, yeah, sure, man. The other thing I maybe wanted to talk about is Ruby Sunday. I'm sorry, I didn't talk enough about Ruby this discussion, but I probably should. But it's just like the betrayal of her trust, which is just really sad. Because she's also just a character who we've seen have issues with trust, or like abandonment, really, specifically. And the fact that she's finally allowing herself to open up to someone who she can feel she can like talk about something that she cannot talk with anyone else, and she feels like, okay, I am allowing myself to connect with someone that I can feel I can rely on, and then this dude just fully backstabs her in the worst way possible. It's just like, I had to listen to your bullshit for like weeks. That's the other part about Conrad, that dude, like I really can't, like, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but like, I would never believe in any bullshit that Conrad says. Like, if I was in the world of Doctor Who, I would never listen to this man's podcast and, like, listen to whatever the fuck stunt he pulled and say, like, yeah, he's right. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, even if I didn't know anything about UNIT, or, like, if I, like, what's real and what isn't. Like, even if disregarding that, because whatever Conrad is saying and the way that he's acting is so egregiously like egotistical, fucked up, that like he just goes on essentially a villain speech of like, like I had to put up with your stuff, or your self-pity of like, oh, you feel like you can't talk to it, like whatever. He just starts talking about Ruby, about all her insecurities, and then at the end he's just, for good measure, it's just like, by the way, your name is stupid, fuck you. It's like he's so cartoonishly evil and petty and selfish. And even before that, the way he acted, like when he pulled out his shirt and he just starts going in the center and it's like, I got you guys. Like, he's like, Ruby's son that you've given me, I don't remember what the fuck he said. It was just like the best day ever or something like that. It's this thing of like, dude, everything is about yourself. And like, that's the reason why I would, again, like I said, I muted him when he started doing that. I didn't want to listen to the episode. That is the amount of tolerance that I have for people who act that way. And it's not even about what the history that I may be aware of what they're doing. It's just not the way they're acting. It's just the person that is in front of me right now is upsetting, and I don't want to listen to you. You don't matter to me. That's why when I'm watching this, it's so weird to me, because I feel like such a disconnect, because like I know that people of this are real. And I know that people that fall for that are real, and it's a big number. There are vast amounts of people who are open to just listen to this poison and just allow it to fester into their hearts. And it's crazy to me, because I am someone who I feel like my entire life I trained myself so that I would react in the opposite manner. I would react with visceral disgust towards this kind of person. And I understand that like what he did with Ruby is that he essentially faked. He lied the whole time. And like, I get that. Like, I'm not gonna say that like you're stupid for not realizing that, because if he's lying the whole time, then sure. But it's just this thing of like, his followers and the media and the way that everybody believes, kind of buys into whatever the stunt was, despite everything that he says during that moment is just like a villain speech. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, I wouldn't I simply wouldn't watch this live stream and say like, yeah, that guy is good. Like, I'm just like, no, I hate that guy. Like, I almost, even if Unit was bad, I would support Unit on principle just because I hated that guy so much, right? Like, that's how I would feel. I think is that it? Is there anything else I wanted to mention that I forgot? Oh, there was like a scene earlier in the episode that I pointed it out with the editing where like Ruby is describing what the creature does, and in the way she describes it, and the whole like scene turns into like this like creepy nightmare scape where you're thinking the creature is coming. And I was wondering like, why did they put that amount of effort into that? And then I listened to what Ruby said, and I was like, she's just describing Conrad right now. She's just describing Conrad as the monster of the episode before the reveal. So I wanted to point that out during the editing. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm really tired, I'm really sleepy. I think I'm done editing for today, so I'm just gonna save this audio and I'm gonna continue tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in to this reaction episode of Doctor Who. God damn it, it was an episode. See you guys next time. Bye. And alright everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this reaction episode of Doctor Who. If you would like to watch full-length reactions to all of this season, you can do so or at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, pop up on the screen. Support the channel. See you guys next time. Bye bye, take care.